is RSN, Rangers Sports Network, presented by Progressive. It is baseball time in Texas.
Strikes him out.
There's a swing and a miss.
Back-to-back strikeouts for Eovaldi.
And he got it. And a swing and a miss. Another 1-2-3 inning.
Struck him out. He is whipped 8.
Going for a complete game shutout. Eovaldi covering. This one is over. A shutout for Nathan Eovaldi. What a way to end it. A spectacular evening last night for the Rangers and Nathan Eovaldi. Rangers baseball presented by Choctaw Casinos and Resorts. One last time here from Great American Ballpark, the Rangers and Reds. Chance to win the series this afternoon for Texas. Welcome, everybody. Great to have you along with us today. I'm Dave Raymond with Mike Bassick. Still feeling pretty good after last night's win. It was a quick one and a dazzler for Nathan Eovaldi.
Yeah, it was awesome to watch. We know that this is rare in baseball now to see a guy go a complete game, and you see Tuesday the numbers there, 9 innings, 8 Ks, no runs. It's the first complete game shutout of the season here in 2025. And then we go back to April of 23 when he did it against the New York Yankees. And we see here the fewest pitches in a complete game shutout by a Texas Rangers pitcher. It was 99 pitches, but a run ain't one. And now Jack Leiter takes the mound after a great debut against the Boston Red Sox. 5 innings, 5 hits, only 1 run, 4 Ks, the 1 walk in 82 pitches. He has something to do today because he's going against Hunter Green.
He also has a rested bullpen behind him today. Rangers looking forward to that. Also looking forward to the continued success of Wyatt Langford. He's in our spotlight with Laura Stickles next. Rangers baseball on RSN is presented by Progressive Insurance. Step up to the plate for savings. Visit progressive.com. And by Choctaw Casinos and Resorts, the official casino and resort of the Texas Rangers.
The 3 from me, only at Chili.
Stole the show last night with his complete game shutout, but it might not have happened if not for Wyatt Langford and his solo shot home run in the first inning. As we take a look at it with our StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud. And guys, he got close to tacking on 2 more because he had 2 fly balls that got pretty close to the fence, but it does feel like he has just picked up exactly where he left off last season when he was named AL's Player of the Month in September when he hit those 8 home runs, but he has carried that into this season. As we take a look at his numbers from before September of last season to after, it's truly night and day. Before he was averaging a home run for every 51 at-bats. Now he's averaging a home run for every 12, and his slugging percentage is up by 250 points. Manager Bruce Bochy said today the biggest difference is he just looks comfortable, he's playing smart, and he's making good adjustments. So up next, we'll have Simeon, Langford, and Peterson coming up to the plate. It's Rangers Reds right after this on RSN.
Perfect way to get started today. Couple of soon-to-be or future Hall of Fame managers. Better than 4,000 career wins embodied right there behind home plate. Terry Francona, Bruce Bochy. Boch got the better of Francona yesterday, and now a rubber game in this series this afternoon. The Rangers at 4-2 coming into play today. So Boch hoping to go to 5-2 against that young man, great young power pitcher in Hunter Green. Now the lineup for the Rangers: Marcus Semien will lead things off at second base, and with Seager out of the order, that means Wyatt Langford batting second and left field. Jock Peterson will DH and bat third. Heart of the order has Garcia, Berger, and Josh Smith at shortstop. Heim does the catching, Taveras in center, and Ezekiel Duran with the start at third base will bat ninth.
All right, the 2024 All-Star on the mound for the Cincinnati Reds. It's their ace, Hunter Green, on Thursday against the Giants. 5 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs, 8 Ks to 1 walk on 84 pitches. Let's look at the arsenal here. It's pretty much a 2-pitch pitcher guy. He's going to throw close to 100 miles an hour on the 4-seamer. Slider 22%. Maybe he'll mix in a split and a curveball. All right. right, the Reds defense for this getaway day game. You have Gavin Lux, Friedel and Fraley in the outfield, Candelario, De La Cruz, McLean, Encarnacion Strand, and Jose Trevino behind the dish. They fooled me again. On Monday, the lineup said Cess at first. I have Cess at first, and here we go. Encarnacion Strand, I guess. He's always a late replacement. Do we have to watch that with the Reds?
Maybe.
At 30 minutes to an hour before the game, they change their first baseman? What happened to Cess? He's not playing this series?
No, there's no Cess. Those are his initials.
Oh,
There
it doesn't fit on the screen?
He hardly fits in your scorebook, right? I don't know about you, but like it takes my entire name box right there.
Do you write in Cess?
No, I pay him the proper respect and put his name in there. Christian Encarnacion Strand. All right, we are ready to go. Two hard-throwing youngsters on the mound. We'll see what that looks like as we get going today. Nick Lenz will be our plate umpire today. All right.
He's mic'd up.
He is mic'd up, checking to make sure that it's okay to start the game, and it is. So Marcus stands in there and goes first pitch swinging, and that's lifted out into center field, and a good job of Friedel to stay with it. I say stay with it. It is a windy one today, and they're talking about winds 15 miles an hour to 25 plus miles per hour coming in off the Ohio River. You can see it's going to create some unique patterns out there for the flight of the ball, so we'll keep an eye on that.
Looks like a slight tornado in right center field there.
Yeah, one must be careful. Get a little dust devil or something out there on the warning track. Langford had the big night last night, and he watches 100 off the edge there, and it is 2-0. So 7 hits so far in the first 6 games. That's good for an average of .304 with power, a couple of homers, 2 RBIs, and he just missed on a couple of swings last night. Could have added to that home run tally. Green fires one right in there for a strike to make it 3-1.
How about the respect that Langford has already in his second season? 2-0. Hunter Green, who throws 100, went with the breaking ball on 2-0.
3-1 pitch now, and that's in the air, foul, out of play. Langford's homer yesterday to left field just did get over the wall, maybe a couple of rows deep. But that's where you want to hit it today, is left field. Ball's hit to right. Normally right field is a home run haven in this ballpark. Now it obviously favors the left-handed hitters, but the bunting out there is holding on for dear life on that that fence right behind the bleachers. It's blowing in and hard today. Green's 3-2, and that's low, 101, but downstairs for ball 4, and so the Rangers have the first base runner today. I'll bring up Jock Peterson. Now, when Langford's out there, my immediate attention is, could he or would he run? Great speed. We'll see what the scouting report on Green is that way. And Peterson, a delayed strike call there, and that was, it appeared, in the strike zone.
Yeah, most power pitchers that throw this hard, they're going to give you a bigger leg lift. You just got to get the leg up and down quickly to try to hold on runners.
Well, he uses a move over there on Langford to chase him back. So they're at the very least concerned about Langford, as they probably should be. You see that big velocity for Green. Langford bluffs and the pitch is high. So Peterson, it's been a slow start for Jock. 2 hits in 15 tries so far. He's added a couple of walks as well. Had a really good at bat yesterday against the lefty late in the game and drew the walk. Swings right over the top of that breaking ball.
Well, from a pitcher standpoint, when you get a swing like that, you usually go, well, I'm just going to repeat that pitch, because the hitter did not seem to see that ball very well at all.
1-2, fouled away.
I also never threw close to 100 miles an hour, so.
Yeah. So when you do have that trick,
yeah,
you understand why a guy would be tempted to use it.
In fact, in the game even today, how hard guys throw, this is going to be rare because Jack can hit 100 too. Two guys that can throw 100 miles an hour as starting pitchers.
Another check in at first base, so that's it for Green in terms of his ability to pick over to first without running the risk of a balk moving the runner up. So Langford could take an audacious lead here.
He does have a big one.
1-2 pitch, he's running, and that's fouled back. We'll do it again.
You could tell with the lead that he got another half step, most likely figuring Green wasn't going to pick over there again.
All right, 1-2 on Jock Peterson. Here it comes, and he fouls that one right into the mitt. First strikeout of the day for Hunter Green.
Oh, we'll see the slider here. Pretty nasty pitch. Not really located, but when you throw 100, sometimes you get away with those more than others.
Adolis Garcia fouls us back just underneath us. Now Albombi off to a pretty nice start this year. 278 average, couple of homers, 4 driven in, has 3 doubles. Everything's been an extra base hit, and he hits that hard and high in the air out to right field. Wind not going to give that a chance. Fraley makes the catch, and the inning is done. Rangers leave a man. All right, so now it's up to Jack Leiter. He's got quite a performance to follow this afternoon here in Cincinnati, with the Rangers bidding for a series win. For the Rangers, so now the Reds get their chance. The Reds 2-3 on the season, a game back of St. Louis in the Central. And their lineup, it's the same one they ran out here on Monday. TJ Friedl in center field leading it off. Matt McLain at second. Ali De La Cruz, a dynamic shortstop, batting third. It's Lux, Candelario, and Encarnacion Strand in the middle of the order. Spencer Steer will be the DH. Fraley in right, and Trevino does the catching and bats ninth.
All right, Jack Leiter on the mound for the second time this season. Had a great first outing against the Red Sox. 5 innings, 5 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, 4 Ks on 82 pitches. He has his work cut out for him today. You look at the arsenal, the 4-seam, 2-seam, changeup, slider, and curve. We'll see if those numbers stay the same. 16% changeup in that first game on the kick change.
The kick change, yeah. Well, the right-hander ready to go to work, and fires that first one in a little bit on Friedl. Leiter, still 24 years old, closing in on a birthday here in a couple of weeks. Yeah, there's a good breaking ball for strike one.
That's a great sign on the second pitch after missing with the fastball to be able to get over that curveball. Establish that you can throw it for a strike. You'll get more chases when you do that early.
1-1 pitch, and there's the kick change. So he's using it all right out of the chute here. Fastball, curveball, the changeup. And the righties 2-1, fouled away. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Friedl, whose name, you can see it spelled right there, F-R-I-E-D-L. It sounds like a pastry or something, like a glazed Friedel. Sounds pretty good right now. 2-2, fouled away.
I was thinking of like a corn chip.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
I've never seen the name before. right?
We've seen Fried, Max Fried, Braves, now Yankees, but we just added an L here.
Yeah, I guess that's really all we've done. Here's a 2-2. And that one lined out to right field. Kind of a late read initially by Garcia, but he makes the catch. Might have had a little trouble picking that up off the bat. But a great recovery athletically.
Outstanding play to get the first out here. Playing a little bit deep because of the wind. Garcia comes in hard and makes a really nice diving play. Great catch.
That's tricky,
The
right?
thing is, if he misses that, that could be an inside the park home run.
Yeah, for sure. McLean now the batter. And he'll take down low. McLean coming in with an even .300 batting average. 3 homers, 5 RBIs. He's off to a really good start. And the slider misses in, 2-0.
And we've seen in this series, McLean is going to battle. He knows his strike zone. He does have some pop. He's a very tough out.
And a hitter advantage count here, the 2-0. And there's a good fastball for a strike, 96 that time from Jack. So Leiter showing some pretty good zip on the heater early on here. Big deep breath. And a swing and a miss on the slider. 2-2.
Good job keeping that ball on the plate. And first batter, he throws that curveball in for a strike. I know it's a little bit different pitch, harder breaking ball, but he established I'm throwing my breaking ball for a strike. So now the hitters know I might have to swing at it.
McLean waits on a 2-2, and that one looked pretty good. 98, and it just missed.
Good location. I do think this is a good call, just above the strike zone. Maybe that does catch the corner. We need to tap our head on that one in spring training.
Yeah, that was really close. Heim presented it well on top of it, and now a swing and a miss at the slider, and there's Leiter's first strikeout today.
Well, this looks pretty sick right here. Look at the break on that at 88 miles an hour after going high with the fastball. Now this one looks down the middle, very hittable, but with the break and location, gets strike 3 way out in front.
Here's Elly De La Cruz, and he'll pull this one foul. Strike 1. Interesting there, came in with a curveball on the first pitch.
Yeah.
And De La Cruz, he does not like, we've talked about this a little bit. He doesn't really like curveballs, sliders, that sort of stuff. He prefers to hit the fastball. That changeup in the dirt, 1-1.
And the other thing, we'll reiterate it again, not a bad time early in the count to throw hard on the hands off the plate and get him moving. Uncomfortable in the box.
Worked really well for Eovaldi last night. Instead, it's a changeup outside. And so the count 2-1.
I love most of Jack Leiter's misses today, though. That is a great pitch, just barely off the plate. You only have to make a slight adjustment to execute that pitch.
Slider in the dirt, and now a favorable count for De La Cruz at 3-1.
Still using the torpedo bat.
Well, yeah, it's going to take a little while for him to want to give that up after
know.
the other night, right?
He went 0 for 4 yesterday. I thought maybe it was, not good anymore.
3-1 pitch, and that's a beauty. 99 right on the edge. Wow.
How about Jack just going with the challenge pitch there?
You're going to get a lot of dudes out with that.
Yeah.
If you can put 99 on that inside corner consistently, look out. Good battle going here with De La Cruz. The payoff. Got him swinging. Back-to-back strikeouts for Leiter to get through the first inning. No harm done. Leiter throwing a little heat. Also getting it done with a breaking ball. De La Cruz nowhere close. Rangers baseball on RSN is brought to you by Choctaw Casinos and Resorts, the official casino and resort of the Texas Rangers. And by your North Texas Chevy dealers. Chevy drives Texas. A little shot a moment ago there of Charlie Hustle, Pete Rose. And the number 14 on the jerseys. And there you go, as they honor the all-time hits leader, former Cincinnati Red. Bouncer third base and a high hop down there for Candelario. He throws out Berger, one away. I didn't realize until we got here. You asked the question. We were looking around the ballpark, and you just saw that 14 that they have. It's on the press box here at Great American Ballpark, and it's got that slash through it. And I didn't understand that initially. It's only been up here since 2016, but the slash through it is they do that for the first year after the passing of one of their legends here, as they mourn the loss of Pete Rose.
Yeah, because when I saw it last time I was here is 2007, and I didn't remember seeing 14 up there. And then I thought, is that through there because of, they don't allow him in the Hall of Fame, but obviously told his passing in the offseason for this year. They do that for their retired number guys. And, what a history of baseball here in Cincinnati.
Oh, yeah. So they're the power stacks out in right center. As they've got the riverboat theme kind of evocative out there in center field, and those power stacks. You'll notice the bats up top there. There's 7 bats on either stack, and those are a little and subtle homage to Pete Rose, number 14, because when they built the ballpark, and this opened in 2003, there was still a mandate from Major League Baseball that Pete Rose not be recognized. And so here you are in Cincinnati, of all places. You're building a brand new ballpark, and you couldn't recognize Pete Rose. So there were little subtle touches like that around the park, which was their way of I don't want to say thumbing their nose at it, but their way of accomplishing their goal anyway, of recognizing Pete Rose and his contributions here. Fastball from Green is outside. 2-2 to Josh Smith.
When they did that, I assume their broadcasters couldn't say that they did that.
They were probably pretty quiet about it for a little while. Green right back, and he comes inside with a slider. So a full count on Smith.
Good at bat, making Green work here after getting ahead 0-2.
Big righty deals, and a swing and a miss at the fastball. Smith is the second strikeout victim today.
Here's the fastball, dotted on the outside corner at 100 miles an hour. We talked about this being the Great American Hitters Ballpark. It hasn't played out that way for the Rangers so far, and this is going to be a tough day, it looks like, for the Rangers to score runs.
Jonah Heim goes after the first pitch and pops this one foul. Well, they've all been tough days lately for this Rangers offense to score runs. It's just enough yesterday. 1. Scored 3 runs in the opener on Monday. And Jonah gets underneath this one. Out to center for Friedel. And that's a 1-2-3 second inning. So Green scoreless as we're through an inning and a half here in Cincinnati.
Welcome back to Great American Ballpark. Jack Leiter back on the mound following a 1-2-3 first inning. And guys, I asked him yesterday just what it's like following Nathan Eovaldi in the rotation, and he said it's actually pretty nice because not only are they both righties, but they do have similar repertoires, even though they throw different pitches. And they both throw 4-seamers and they both throw a curveball. But while Eovaldi has a cutter, Leiter has a slider. Both pitches end up glove side, and then while Eovaldi has a splitter, Leiter has a changeup. Both of those pitches end up arm side. So he just told me that being able to follow Eovaldi and see how he prepares and attacks hitters has been really helpful.
I agree. And you watch Eovaldi yesterday, and he definitely gave you a game plan
Man.
against these guys.
Yeah, just do that. Ground ball right side. Berger with a nice play to his right. Feeds Leiter. And Lux retired on one pitch.
Well, how did the game end yesterday, Dave? What was
Just like that.
And then we're talking about Eovaldi helping out Leiter. He said what you should probably do is get ground balls to Berger over there and make sure you cover and get easy outs.
So how cool is Eovaldi, by the way? I mean, it was just such a tremendous performance he treated us with last night. But then today, just walks out and goes on set live on the pregame show with Jared. That's pretty big.
It's awesome. Eovaldi's awesome. And I'll tell you what's awesome is that Jared's on the field every game. So that can happen. We had Leiter on post-game show.
Right.
After his game. He just walked out there and started talking to us. And what a late call. Just let him have a free strike there. Let's go. But yeah, that's the one cool thing that we're doing here at RSN. There's a lot, but is that doing the pre and post on the field gives us possibly that access.
Leiter's one strike pitch, swing and a miss at the curveball. Breaking ball looks good today, huh?
This is the best breaking ball. I know we haven't seen Jack a little bit last year and now second start. This is the best breaking ball stuff I think I've ever seen him have. This is nasty ace breaking ball stuff.
2-strike pitch, and he spikes that one.
You notice every time he leaves one short, he like pushes his hit, like keep going forward, get to the catcher.
Yep, constant reminders and communication with himself out there on things mechanical, mental. There's 1-2 and a swing and a miss. And Candelario almost like he did not see that slider.
Yeah, I don't even know if he saw the baseball the way he swung at this, but we'll take it. As a pitcher, you love it. You know you didn't execute your pitch here, but you threw something that obviously Candelario wasn't looking for and decided really late to take a swing.
Great shot there, that strikeout from our lower first camera as Encarnacion Strand takes one outside. Our lower first camera run by Jack Leiter.
Holy cow.
Yeah, that's Jack Leiter. The Jack Leiter. 1-0, fouled away. His dad, Bruce Leiter, is a longtime camera operator on Sunday Night Baseball, Monday Night Baseball as well, Wednesday as well, at ESPN. And he knew Al Leiter, his dad, Bruce, and, you know, introduced himself one day. They were talking, and they got to chatting about their families, and they both had sons named Jack. High pop-up, center field, and caught out there by Smith. Oh man, on the fly route out to center field, and he reeled in the catch. What a play by Josh Smith, filling in at shortstop and doing it beautifully here in the second.
Good he is at third base, and this is something right here, such a tough play. That wind was messing with the ball so much, and I know Major League voters know who he is because of his Silver Slugger Award last year. Just write this down, voters. Write down his name, Josh Smith, and keep an eye on him for the Utility Gold Glove Award winner this year.
Plays like that will certainly help quite a bit as Taveras comes up empty.
We haven't seen him yet this season. It's early, but he played a really nice first base in spring training.
Really nice. Yeah, I agree. 2-strike pitch, and Leote takes a little in. And that's a pretty keen eye. That was very close.
I would say little is the key word right there, because that could have been called a strike.
Yeah, it wasn't way in. The 1-2. And that's off the handle, blooped out near shortstop, where the third baseman Candelario makes the catch.
Well, maybe since they're playing the Rangers, they were doing their best Elvis Beltre impersonation right here. I don't know who called it, but Candelario cut right in front of De La Cruz and got it.
De La Cruz could have just reached over his head and taken it, and he really wanted. bunt attempt by Duran goes foul. It's a tall drink of water. And De La Cruz.
Special to watch. I know we're here in Cincinnati next year. I know it's early, but next year you might want to just kind of mark your calendar if you want to see one of the upcoming superstars in the game when Cincinnati comes to town.
He's worth the price of admission, right? I mean, normally you go to the ballpark to see your team, maybe the other team, whatever the case. It's just not all that common that you go to see one guy per se. He's one guy you might pay to go see. 1-2. I mean, there just aren't others like him, really. I was thinking about this the other day. If you were trying to come up with a comp, Barry Bonds would be the closest, but even then, I think De La Cruz has the speed element that was beyond Bonds's. Duran strikes out.
You know, it's tough because I don't know how big of a thing Barry was. I know he was good, don't get me wrong, and kind of 86, 87, 88 out of Arizona State. I'll tell you who he kind of reminds me of. He's obviously bigger and faster, but when Fernando Tatis Jr. came onto the scene.
Yeah.
And Fernando had to move away from shortstop.
Yeah. Now Semien as we go the second time through. We'll see what adjustments the Rangers make here to Green. Marcus hits this ball hard over short. That's a base hit. Rangers' first hit of the ball game. That's a good sign.
That's a great sign. You need to get Semien going this season. He does a good job of getting 100 down in the zone and hitting a line drive, and you probably have to hit it a little bit higher against that shortstop there at 6'7" with the arms and the athleticism, and he hits it high enough.
Well, it gets the most dangerous bat in the lineup to the plate as Langford chases a slider for strike one. Wyatt walked in the first inning. And that one fouled back, so Green jumps ahead 0-2.
How much on games like this when you're seeing Hunter Green all-star, he has his stuff working. I know it's already 0-2, a little bit tough, just to try to steal a bag, just to get in scoring position going. I don't know if we're going to have a big inning today. We just need to try to get 1 or 2 on the board in some kind of manufactured way.
He strikes out swinging. Langford done, and so are the Rangers in the third. Hunter Green notches his 4th strikeout of the day.
Let's check out the T-Mobile coverage cam. And to start off the game, Adolis Garcia in right field makes an outstanding diving play head first to start off the defense. And then last inning to end the second, Josh Smith stays with a very tough pop-up and makes a great play. And Jack loves the defense. He is pitching great so far. I know it's only 2 innings in, but great defense from Josh and Adolis, and right now, the breaking stuff from Jack Leiter. It was the fastball last game against the Red Sox. Right now, super impressed with the curveball slider.
Well, he gets the bottom third of the order in this third inning. And he fires that fastball just off the plate. Was it the other day in his season opener where his fastball misses were big, or am I thinking back to spring training?
There were some where he would get ahead in the count and then just try to overdo it on finishing pitches. So yes.
Yeah, that was it. A little pop up here near the plate. Heim takes care of it. 1 away. I guess where I'm going with that is the quote unquote misses today with the fastball have been like within an inch.
Yes. Yeah. He
very accurate.
Looks very in control of his body. You know, obviously hasn't found himself with anybody on base yet. But right now it's just nice and easy and throwing 4 pitches where he wants to most of the time. That's a good miss. I know you want to get ahead with that breaking ball, but like you said, that's a small miss, and all you got to do is make little adjustments on those.
Fraley, the batter, off to a slow start and comes up empty on the slider. 1-1. Outside of the 14-run explosion the other day for Cincinnati, their offense has had a difficult time getting going. That's a changeup right down the middle. Strike 2 on Fraley.
I wonder this from Fraley. I wonder if he knows that's a changeup. It was 92.
Right.
It kind of had a hair of a cut motion on it. I wonder if you just asked him what was that pitch. If you'd go as a changeup, or he'd say, "Oh, it's like I think he might have cut the ball on me there."
1-2. That bounces to the plate. I wonder too, though, as a hitter, do you worry about it?
No, you're thinking, well, that's the pitch, that he threw. By the way, Jonah framed that one up for you. I don't know if
did
he held it for about 3 seconds there. It's striking bowling.
Here's a 2-2 and a little bouncer right side, charging on it. Semien throws to first in time, and Fraley erased. That's 8 up, 8 down. Now our Choctaw Casinos and Resorts game within the game. All right, look at last year's numbers on the left versus last Friday in his season opener, and didn't use the four-seamer quite as much, even though it was coming in a little hotter.
Yeah.
Change up a lot more, and it was coming in a lot hotter.
Yeah, and we'll see as the season progresses what he's going to do with that. Now, Jack also added the two-seam fastball, so the four-seam can be down a little bit in usage rate, but if you're using the two-seamer 20-25% of the time, it kind of equals out to still using the fastball the same amount of time.
Because he throws both of them very hard. 3 strikeouts so far. So he fights the wind to stay up on top of the mound. Boy, it is really blowing. And that's a strike. I was going to say, it looked like Trevino win.
Hopefully our camera guy is okay up there.
Yeah, this is as hard as we have seen it blow so far today. Fighters 1-1, and that's a beauty. 98 right in there.
Just spotted too. Boy, is this going to be a fun year if Nathan Eovaldi and Jack Leiter throwing back-to-back keep throwing like this.
Jack's 1-2, and that's spoiled over to the right side.
And that swing right there, first of all, great location. Second, Trevino, that was just trying to survive. That was a survival swing. That was not trying to get a base hit swing.
Another 1-2 pitch and a little tapper back to the mound. Leiter has time to set up, make the easy throw, and complete another 1-2-3 inning. Well, he has not allowed a base runner yet today. Jack Leiter's second start of the season, believe it or not, going better even than his first. Hey, the Tex Gala presented by Choctaw Casinos and Resorts. It is tomorrow night at Globe Life Field. Benefits Texas Rangers Baseball Foundation. Thomas Rhett will be there performing tomorrow night. Cocktail, dinner, live and silent auction, and more. Go to Rangers.com/TexGala to get one of the last tickets. We'll see you out there. It'll be Jock Peterson, Adolis Garcia, and Jake Burger in this 4th inning. Scoreless game, and Green deals low. Peterson DHing and batting 30, struck out in the 1st inning, and he holds off on a pitch in.
I'm just going to ask you a question. If I was sitting at home watching this game with you, say, hey, how many runs do you think the Rangers are going to need to win this game? Or how many runs do you think after 3 innings, after these 2 pitchers, are going to actually be scored today?
Well, I'll tell you this much: 2-2 now on Jock. I think with the wind on top of everything else today, day games can be tough on guys, but that wind blowing in as hard as it is in right field, it feels like a game that's going to be pretty low scoring. And certainly these two have really set that tempo early on. 2-2. Yeah, that one gets away. 102 miles per hour.
did that catch Nick Lentz, the home plate umpire, on the shin? I know he's wearing a shin guard, so maybe it didn't matter, but it's 102. Oh, I guess that's a good protection there on the top of the foot.
Yeah. Smashed foul by Peterson. It stays 3-2. Yeah, just a slight deflection off the glove, and obviously didn't hit it flush, right? It kind of glanced off the shin, but man, hardest pitch of the day. Good job by Peterson to keep the at-bat going. Green, the one thing about his outing is he's had to use some pitches here. He's already at 50 for the day. He's only managed the 9 outs so far. Peterson will make him throw yet another.
Yeah, good at bat from Peterson. You want it to end in a positive result and get on base, but like you said, a guy like Green, if he can only go 6 innings, it at least gives you 3 innings of work off of not Hunter Green.
Right-hander's payoff. And a bouncer, weakly hit left side. Candelario in with a bare hand, and he whiffed. Peterson takes a turn, but will hold it first. There's only one play that Candelario had there.
Yeah, he's obviously shifted over in kind of the shortstop position and tries to bare-hand it. And you know what Peterson says, speed kills. He knew he might have a hit. He was getting out of the box quick.
And he still can run. Former wide receiver. Well, he is aboard for Adolis Garcia. And Green's first pitch to him. A big swing and a fly ball into short center. Friedel able to close on it and make the catch. One away. We'll bring up Jake Burger. Did talk to Jake today about the torpedo bat, which we've heard a lot about. He has an order in, hoping to get some on this next homestand. So a handful of guys have put in orders. There are also a handful who have zero interest in a torpedo bat. But you think, you know, that it's an automatic right because of all the publicity it's gotten and people thinking like, oh, you know, you're immediately, everything's going to be better, right? It's sort of eureka thing for a hitter. He expressed some concern, some hesitancy. As he said, he's like, all right, well, you're going to move the weight a little bit more toward my hands, etc. Will it throw off my mechanics just a touch?
Yeah. I can't remember the name of the bat, but they have one where they try to teach kind of, I'll say, kids. Even some major leaguers use it where all the weight is just above your hands. And all you're doing on that is doing tee work, maybe some soft toss work. And that is supposed to kind of get you better at having a flatter swing, working the ball the other way. Well, does Jake Burger, the way that he's a major leaguer, does he want to have a flatter swing? I don't know. And I know that you're not moving the weight all the way down to the hands, but right. Yeah, does it change the way your swing path?
Smith puts a pretty good swing on this one. That's carrying well out to the alley, and that one gets down. Base hit. Peterson around third. They'll wave him to the plate. No throw. RBI double by Josh Smith, and the Rangers get that first run of the game. So a great defensive play earlier, and now the big RBI double.
Well, he gets 100 down the middle, and he puts a really nice swing on this one, and this ball carries, short hops the wall here. The Reds do a pretty good job here of getting the ball in. Peterson running as hard as he can, but on the relay, Cruz couldn't handle it, so there's no throw home.
Now a base hit should plate another run. With Smith out there at second. And the throw, wow, almost picked off De La Cruz. Oh, man.
Now,
what happens on that?
For everybody watching, you don't have to throw the ball. A lot of people at a stadium will yell, balk. I don't know why he threw the ball. Cruz knew he's going to be safe by a mile, and I don't know why Green threw that ball there.
runs one in on Jonah for ball one. Well, a run is in. Smith in scoring position. Heim has been off to a really good start. Comes up empty, 1-1. Jonah with a couple of home runs. 4 for 10 in the first week of the season.
Well, you mentioned 50 just a minute ago. Now this will be pitch 60 here.
1-1 pitch. And that's off the handle, popped up behind the plate, and that gets into the seats. Now Green not real efficient today. Been pretty effective.
Yeah, very effective. And, you know, I guess looking at it, if you want to be 15 pitches or less per inning, he's right at that marker. But maybe to go CG like we saw from Eovaldi yesterday, the pitch count has gotten too high that's going to be the case. Now you're looking at maybe trying to get 7 innings out of him.
That ball hit well out to center field. Friedl angling back though, and looks like he has room. He does, and the inning is done. But the Rangers get that first run of the game. Josh Smith made a brilliant defensive play earlier. Now drives in that first run. Rangers on top as we go to the bottom of the fourth.
Let's look at this Ford leaderboard. Starters in their Ks per 9 innings pitched this season. Phillies are leading at 14.1, but the Rangers are on the board, top 5 at 10.1. And let's take a look at what Jack Leiter's velocity is looking like on all of his pitches today. The 4-seamer in the high 90s, same thing with the 2-seamer, changeup 88 to 92, slider 85 to 91, and curve 79 to 84. And he has them all working.
Yeah, that's just it. He's commanding all of them. That is a perfectly placed changeup. Strike one to Friedl. So second time through now. Friedl lined out in the first inning. And Leiter's 1-strike offering in the air left field. Langford, oh boy. That wind's moving the ball around a little bit.
If you hit the ball to left field pretty good. Jonah Heim, I thought, hit his ball pretty good, not great, and that ball got to the track in center field. And you can see Langford playing here for 2 days. He knows where that ball is going to be, and then last second has to take 2 steps back. That ball is going to be carrying about 10 feet further than you think it will. Now, the one thing about Jack in spring training, he was throwing that kick change in the mid-90s. Yeah. I do like the speed he's throwing it at in the regular season. It's in that more 90 range, and so I love not only the pitch, but I love the taking off 6 miles an hour or 7 miles an hour on it, instead of it just being a 3 mile an hour difference in speed.
1-strike pitch to McLean, and that fastball just missed.
Great miss, though.
Yeah, again, a close, a near miss. It's just that command is really sharp today for Leiter. He had an excellent outing in his first start against Boston. This one has been better still today. He went 5 innings against the Red Sox, allowed a run on 5 hits, 1 walk, and 4 strikeouts. And he's improving on that this afternoon.
Well, and he's done a great job of, when he gets ahead, of putting away hitters. He has 3 strikeouts today, all on sliders. Let's see what he goes with here on 1-2. McLean is a very tough guy to get to swing and miss. He got him up in the first inning.
Heim setting up a little to the outside of the 1-2. Oh boy.
that was a little bit too much. He does throw close to 100. He might have been trying to get 200 on that one.
Yeah, it definitely looked like he was muscling up for a little more.
Yeah. Stay within yourself.
Two balls, 2 strikes to a dangerous hitter. And McLean takes strike 3. 99, right on the edge again. Amazing.
What a great adjustment here. After overthrowing the pitch before, perfectly locates. He gets a little bit more behind this one. 4-seamer at 99, but just dotting the outside corner, and Jonah framing it up for the 4th strikeout of the game.
So De La Cruz, the batter, and he'll take a slider low. First time in, he started De La Cruz with a curveball and then went with a harder slider. Let's see what he tries here. Dangerous switch hitter at the left side. And there's a slider for a strike. Comes right back with it again.
Yeah, great job. That starts off as a ball and then breaks into the zone late.
One. Curveball that time. And that just missed getting in there. So kind of going to the scouting report. Off speed and breaking balls to De La Cruz. 2-1. And again, just missed sneaking that in there. Ball 3.
That's a ball, but these are good misses. I believe he got into this situation kind of before with De La Cruz. He ended up coming back and striking him out on a slider. Let's see, 3-1. This is a big pitch here.
Everything off speed so far. Comes with the changeup here. That's hit hard out to left. Langford watches it over his head. And De La Cruz with that long stride slides into second with a 2-out double.
Well, here on 3-1, looks like a slider there. 91 in the middle of the plate. Hard line drive. Langford does a good job. He almost is able to throw out the fastest runner in baseball at second base. But 2 outs here. Now you concentrate all your concentration on the hitter. If De La Cruz wants to steal third base as a pitcher here, I don't care. I want to make a good pitch. Lux has to get a hit to score the run.
Well, he got Lux on 1 pitch in the second inning. And he deals low here. Former Dodger, now in his first year in a Reds uniform. Lux, second time in the series with a start in left field. And bounces it foul down along first base.
You know, last year, I don't know if Jack had the confidence in an off-speed pitch to be 1-0 and know that he was going to throw it for a strike to get back into the count and have the hitter off balance on their swing. I felt like right there, he'd maybe just try to power a fastball by a guy.
On 1 pitch. And the breaking ball is in. So, to your point, I mean, it does feel like he's carrying himself with a little more swagger or confidence.
Yeah.
De La Cruz running. The pitch is in the dirt. Throw goes down to third, but De La Cruz dives in with a stolen base, and that's his second of the series.
Well, I know the Rangers want to do a better job of holding on guys, but good job by De La Cruz still on the base, but that really doesn't matter to me. If I make good pitches, that's a great play by Duran. That ball almost got away. And good throw from the knees, but if I make my pitches here, I know it's 3-1. I've put myself in a tough situation. I get out of this inning.
There's a swing and a miss. Full count now on Lux. De La Cruz, the first base runner of the day for Cincinnati. After Leiter retired the first 11 men he faced. 1 strike away from surviving this 4th inning now.
He hasn't thrown a fastball in this at bat so far.
The payoff. He goes with a slider again. I
say that, just because, you think if he throws 198 and can throw it in a decent location, that ball is going to possibly get on Lux in a hurry where he can't get to it.
I don't think he threw a fastball to De La Cruz either in that at bat. 3-2. And that's fouled back. There was the heater at 99, and it did get on him in a hurry.
Yeah, perfectly located 3-2 four-seamer against a lefty, up on the hands, borderline strike, and give Lux credit. That was not a pretty swing, but he lived for another pitch.
But you'd be confident doing it again,
Yes,
right?
yes.
3-2. And that's fouled away. Yeah, I don't have a problem with it. The Lux swing didn't tell me that you should fear throwing him a fastball here.
Yeah. You just don't want to miss down the middle. You want to make sure you locate it. Pitch count at 20 in this inning right now.
Here's a 3-2. And he got him swinging once again on the slider. So Leiter threw 4 scoreless innings, 5 strikeouts today. McLean looking at the slider. Lux swinging on the slider. It's 1-0.
Theme night tickets. They'll get you a true brand cap with the 1985 Rangers Road Gray look. Sunday, April 6th, Rays versus Rangers, only when you buy tickets at rangers.com/theme nights.
Taveras going after the first pitch he sees here in the 5th inning, and he flies out to center, 1 away. And brings up Ezekiel Duran. Rangers got their run last inning. Peterson reached on an infield hit, scored from first base on a Josh Smith double. So that's twice in the series that Peterson has scored from first base. And now 99 down the middle for a strike on Duran. Green works with a pretty decent tempo and jumps ahead 0-2 now. You mentioned he's only 25 years old, the second pick overall in 2017. Reds first round pick that year. And Green now, I mean, he's an ace level starter. At least that's where it's all heading. There's a little tap around in front of the plate. And good job by Trevino to pop out and throw out Duran. 2 away.
Yeah, and he was out of high school, and I don't know if people will remember this, but people thought he might be the American Shohei Ohtani. Is his junior and senior year of high school, they're like, well, is he going to be an all-star position player or an all-star pitcher? And I think Cincinnati gave him a little bit of a chance early in his minor league career to hit 2, but that changed pretty quickly, I would say, in his minor league career. But I mean, he is a really good athlete who probably could have made it as a position player in Major League Baseball too.
0-2 on Simeon. I did a series of games in Cary, North Carolina for, it was like Team USA games, and at the time it might have been like 16U or something, and Hunter Green was a guy in that series. You're talking about the best in the country. He stood out by a mile on both pitching and hitting. And I remember we awarded whatever it was, a player MVP of the tournament. And he was that guy. We just didn't know whether it should be as a pitcher or a hitter. This ball hit well center field. Friedel gathers it in though. And we're halfway there today. Hunter Green has pitched well, but Jack Leiter has pitched even a little better. It's 1-0.
Welcome back to Great American Ballpark. Rangers lead 1-0 here at the bottom of the 5th inning as we take a look at our Chevy under the hood and the man behind the pitching staff here for the Texas Rangers, Mike Maddux, in his 10th season as Rangers pitching coach, helping to guide this team to 5 postseason appearances. And guys, last night he had a feeling that Eovaldi was going to do something special before Eovaldi even knew. Eovaldi said that he had a feeling he thought something good was going on in the 5th or 6th inning, but according to Maddux, he knew that Eovaldi would have a good game when he was warming up in the pen, when he said he just looked exceptional. He never missed the glove once. We also asked Evo after the game what it was like to throw a Maddux with the Maddux in the dugout, and he said it was pretty sweet, guys.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. Now, what's interesting to me about that is that so many guys talk about going to the bullpen having nothing on the days where they come out and throw a brilliant game. So that he was actually dealing in the bullpen and then came out and followed that up with a great game is a little bit of a twist.
Yeah, I would say, you know, reading books like The Mental ABCs of Pitching by Harvey Dorfman, you don't want your bullpen to dictate how you're going to feel on the mound. I think a lot of times when you don't throw well in the bullpen, you know what you do? You go, I better lock in or I am going to have a horrible big league day today. And sometimes when you throw great in the pen, you just start thinking to yourself, boy, do I have it today. Watch out, Major League Baseball. And then you're in the first inning, you're like, well, how are all these people on base? I threw so good in practice.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that was practice. So lock in.
Well, he had it going everywhere yesterday. Breaking ball bounced down to first. Berger says, seriously, I can actually do this myself. And that time he did. One away.
You wanted Jack to block him off the base, get there first. Yeah, easy two hopper here. 1, 2, and buckle my shoes and touch first base. And Jack was there just in case.
Yeah, Berger's going to have to start boxing out to get to first base. Here's Christian Encarnacion Strand. And he takes a beautifully placed fastball again, strike one.
Man. Just painting Picasso on the mound.
This has been an impressive 24 hours for Rangers starting pitching. A little low. 1-1.
You see Jonah with the positive reinforcement, though, even with that pitch. Like, that is a great pitch. Yeah, we didn't get a swing, but if we're going to miss, that sets me up for a positive third pitch here.
Leiter right back to the plate. Bouncer third base. Backhand stopped by Duran. Shows off the arm. And there are two gone. He does have a strong arm over there at third.
I love that you said that because when he was playing third base, was it in the Boston series, he decided not to throw it hard and threw the ball short, and Berger couldn't pick it for him. Hey, when you have a cannon, it's so much easier to just let it rip and throw it where you want to than to try to guide the ball where you want to.
So now Spencer Steer. I mean, are you kidding me?
Hurricane
95 right on the black again.
Yeah, Hurricane just came through our booth too while that pitch was happening.
You can probably hear it back home or wherever you're listening. But yeah, that wind is howling today. Big swing and a miss. But you know, it was cold here these last couple of days. Temperatures in the 40s. Might have even dipped into the 30s overnight Monday. But today, by the time we roll out of town, it could be close to 80 degrees here. These winds out of the south are headed this way in a hurry, and so is the warmth. 0-2. And a swing and a miss. Another strikeout. This one of Steer, and for the first time on the heater today.
Well, Jack Leiter has it all working. A lot of strikeouts on the slider today, but this is just straight gas. Bayou. We head to the 6th inning.
Happy Rangers fans in attendance with the Rangers up 1-0. 6th inning has arrived. It'll be Langford, Peterson, and Garcia, and Wyatt takes 100 off the plate, ball one.
Well, Wyatt has some family in town watching him play.
And gets underneath this one, pops it into foul ground first base side. That wind moving it around a little bit, but Encarnacion Strand makes the play, one away.
Well, this ball looked like it was headed for the stands, and then the wind said, wait a second, I'm going to push this back about 20 feet and make this a much easier play. Just have to stay with it. The ball is going to push to left field in the air.
I'm with you off the bat. I thought it was headed into the seats. but that ended up playable and by a wide margin. Here's Jock Peterson, and he'll take a strike.
Yeah, nobody's been able to do it yet against either pitcher, but if you can get a high fly ball kind of down the left field line or to left field, it should carry an extra 30 feet.
0-2 on Jock. And we did see some balls in the fourth inning hit, generally speaking, left center, and they definitely got a little extra. It's the day to hit it that way, though, for sure. And Jock puts this in the air. It'll blow out toward left field. De La Cruz heading out there, but finally it's Lux who will make the catch. 2 gone. And Adolis Garcia coming to the plate along with our TXU Energy power stats. And there you see Garcia's average exit velocity right near 99 miles per hour. He has been smoking the ball early on this year. He offers it the slider from Green. He's 0 for 2 today. Hit a ball here the other day. I guess that would have been Monday night. Hit that double down the left field line, 116 plus off the bat. 0-2.
It's tough for anybody to get good contact off of Green and Leiter today.
We have not seen much of it on either side. Garcia shoots that the other way, foul.
Now, I can't remember. I know we had this stat earlier in the season, or I looked it up in the offseason. Is Green the hardest throwing starting pitcher in Major League Baseball on average? I know Skeens is up there too.
Yeah, I was going to say he's right at it as he rushes that one past Garcia, and that completes a perfect 1-2-3 6th inning. Rangers out 1-0.
Well, Jack Leiter has been outstanding today. He started it off with a very impressive slider, getting multiple strikeouts on it, commanding his fastball, throwing some kick changes. 5 innings, 1 hit. Nobody else reached base. Only Ellie De La Cruz with the double. 6 Ks, only 70 pitches. And a little bit surprising, he's out of the game. Jacob Webb in relief here in the 6th inning.
Well, yeah, a rested bullpen tomorrow, an off day. Nobody pitched yesterday out of that bullpen. And it's funny, it's feast or famine, right, for those guys out there.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need work, so maybe that's part of the thinking.
Yeah, 2 games this season so far, 3 innings pitched, 1 hit, 1 earned run, no walks, 2 Ks. And it feels like the way Green is throwing, we'll see how much longer he goes. But remember when we said, oh, he got up to 61 pitches through 4 innings, which wasn't bad. He's pitched the last 2 innings and only thrown 17 pitches. So you're only at 78 pitches with Green, so he should be good to go 1 more if they want him to go 1 more. But I know there's a lot of protection early on in the year on innings pitched. And keeping those guys, you're trying to keep them healthy for 6 months.
All right, so Webb takes over in the 6th inning. The Reds had just 1 base runner in those first 5 innings. You were wondering about the highest average velocity for starting pitchers last year. I think it might have been Dylan Cease.
Okay.
First pitch to Fraley, taken low and in, ball 1.
Where was Green on that list?
That's what's making me a little hesitant on this list, because he's not showing up. So I may need to lower the standard how many pitches or innings to get on this list.
Okay.
There's a pop-up heading foul, and that's out of play. So yeah, all right, you take the innings down a little bit.
All right.
So you didn't have to qualify but at 120 innings or more last year. Paul Skeens just a shade under 99 as his average velocity. Hunter Green second at a little better than 97.5 miles per hour. So again, that's, you know, not among qualifying pitchers, but you have to have at least 120 innings.
Okay. I'll tell you, the way he's throwing, Jack Leiter might get top 10 on that list this year.
Yeah. There's a high pop-up heading foul, and Heim with a long run, and he gets to it and he makes the catch. I wonder how much that one carried on it.
Yeah, it looked like it did, because Zeke, I don't want to say he gave up on it. He heard Jonah calling it. Now pop-up priority, your third baseman has priority over the catcher, but watch how far Jonah runs here. Duran is playing that kind of shortstop position. They both run over there. I think they both could have caught it, but Duran gave way to Heim, and Heim took care of it.
Now Trevino, and he lines one out to right field. That takes Garcia back a few steps, but he makes the catch. That was one of the better hit balls by anyone in the game today.
And I think if that ball is hit maybe to left field, now that ball didn't have a lot of elevation, but we've showed you the wind quite a few times. The wind is blowing in very hard from right field.
So now here is Friedel again. 0 for 2. He takes strike one. I've given it some thought, by the way. I'd like a chocolate Friedel, I think, for me.
Chocolate Friedel.
Yeah.
Okay. Cream filled?
No, I don't need the cream filled anything. Swing and a miss. I realize now I've just been trolled by you, but yeah, no, thank you.
You don't want to leche it?
No, I don't need 3 leches. I can tell you that much. 2's plenty. 0-2 the count on Friedel. So Webb, a pop out, a line out. Maybe you could accent a scoreless 6th inning with a strikeout. A little bit up. "31 years old here with the Rangers on a 1-year deal. Had a good year last year with Baltimore, the 1-2. And that's in the air right field. This time Garcia having to come in, and he reaches forward for the chest high grab. Inning is over. So the 7th coming up. Jake Burger, Josh Smith, Jonah Heim coming up. Rangers baseball on RSN is brought to you by Toyota. Test drive a new 2025 Tundra or Tacoma at your local Toyota dealer today. Yeah, there's the original 9 in Cincinnati back in 1869, the first ever professional ball club. Of course, the big red machine on the left. A couple of great murals here in Cincinnati. Great American Ballpark. Burger starts his swing and did not stop, apparently. That's strike one. Jake 0 for 2, a ground out and a strikeout today. And Green continuing to toil in the 7th inning. Jumps ahead 0-2 now. We were just informed that Leiter was removed today as a precaution with a blister on his right hand.
Okay.
So I don't know how you want to characterize that. That's just what we know. We do know that he finished strong. I mean, you certainly saw no signs of bother even in his final 5th inning.
Yeah, 99, I believe 99 miles an hour was his last pitch on a strikeout, and yeah, he was awesome. Would have loved for him to go longer. I'm assuming it's one of his, 2 fingers. I know we say hand, but the blister's probably at the fingertip area.
Yep, index or middle finger probably. There's a swinging strikeout of Burger. So Hunter Green continuing to pitch well, and that was his 500th career strikeout. How about that? I mean, That's a young fella.
Yeah.
Luis Castillo was the quickest Red ever to 500 strikeouts. He did so in his 79th career appearance. But for Hunter Greene, this was his 74th career appearance. So now he's the fastest in terms of how many games it took to get there. He is a dynamic right-handed pitcher, and one that has folks here in Cincinnati pretty excited.
Well, and it took him some time to develop into this guy too. Second overall pick. We have Jack Leiter, we have Kumar Rocker. Maybe people are like, well, last year after Jack Leiter, there was a lot of questions from Ranger fans. Is he a starting pitcher? And doing outstanding, and then Rocker has a rough outing. It takes time. This is such a tough sport to be good at in a hurry. That's why you see kind of maybe the average age of guys making it to the major leagues is 25. It's not like basketball and football, two of the other major sports that you watch and go, well, you can quickly make an impact out of college from that sport.
Well, another strikeout, back-to-back Ks. In fact, that's 3 in a row going back to last inning. So Greene started to throw really the best ball that he's thrown all day.
Yeah.
8 strikeouts so far today. He's retired 9 in a row. Jonah Heim, the hitter, and did he stop? It doesn't matter. That's a strike. At least Nick Lentz didn't need any help. One strike offering. And he tried to stop again, but could not. 0-2. An uncomfortable at bat so far here for Jonah, who's 0 for 2 with a couple of flyouts, both to Friedel in center field. 1-0 Rangers. That's fouled back. Only 4 hits in this game by the two teams combined. Rangers got 2 of them though in 1 inning, and that is why they have the advantage. Reds only hit. Elly De La Cruz had the double in the 4th inning. Oh, 2. Yeah, that's hammered foul.
Well, maybe just fouling off a few more pitches will make Terry Francona take Hunter Greene out after this inning. He's getting close to that 100 marker.
Pitch to Heim, and that's inside. Definitely some body language trying to communicate they thought it was strike 3.
Everybody trying to sell it. Trevino, Greene, that ball was probably a hair inside. Good pitch though.
All right, now Jonah hits this one on the ground, first base. Encarnacion Strand gives it to Greene covering, and that completes a scoreless 7th. It is stretch time in Cincinnati. Hunter Greene has been really good today for Cincinnati, but the Rangers lead 1-0.
All right, Ranger fans, let's get out to the park this weekend. Rays versus Rangers at Globe Life Field, April 4th to the 6th. Tickets at Rangers.com.
Yeah, right back home. This was a quick little roadie here to Cincinnati. The club heading home tonight, and will have enjoy their first off day tomorrow. All right, bottom of the 7th inning in a 1-0 game. It'll be McLean, De La Cruz, and Gavin Lux in this 7th. Pretty big half inning right here. Webb with a 1-2-3 6th inning, and runs that tight on McLean. Very similar last night for Eovaldi in the 7th inning. And Evo, I guess that was it was the 7th inning. It started with McLean again in the 7th. He got on to start that inning, and Eovaldi would have to face 4 batters in the 7th. Anyway, it meant that McLean was going to get back up again before the game was over. Bouncer third, Duran's throw is high, and McLean is on again.
Well, Duran does a great job of charging this and getting it on the big hop. Unfortunately, the ball just sails on him. Berger has to leave the base. And we'll see how that one scored. I think a nice throw here gets him out. Just got underneath the ball and pulled Berger off the base.
An error on Duran. And that'll do it for Webb. Bruce Bochy out there to take the baseball. So Webb responsible for McLean in the 7th inning in a 1-0 game. So we've got a tough and tight one here. 1-0 Rangers, 7th inning. McLean the runner at first. Elly De La Cruz the man due. Now the switch hitter will have to come up here from the right side of the plate. I should say have to, but he will against Robert Garcia.
3 games so far this year, 2 2/3, 3 Ks, 2 walks, 111 batting average against.
De La Cruz, a very different hitter from this side of the plate, and he takes strike 1. Hits almost 60 points higher from the left side. And the power difference is also massive. Slugs 509 as a left-handed hitter. This is in his career. Just 320 slug from the right side.
Yeah, 32 homers lefty, 8 homers righty in his career.
1-1. And that's a beauty. Strike 2. Garcia also a good matchup for Bruce Bochy, because we know Garcia, he loves the fastball, and or rather De La Cruz loves the fastball. Garcia's best pitch is his changeup. Runner goes, pitch is high, throw down to second is also high, and McLean has a stolen base. First of the season for him.
Well, this is what the Reds did a lot last year. They didn't do it against the Giants, but you're going first move against a left-hander. McLean gets a good jump. It's not a great throw, but it doesn't matter. There was nothing Heim and Semien could do to get the out. Semien tries to get the tag down quick, and unfortunately misses the ball, but it doesn't cause any more harm.
But McLean in scoring position, and a swing and a miss. De La Cruz strikes out. 1 away. Big strikeout for Garcia.
Well, let's look at the sequence here against Elly from the right side. We go changeup inside, 89, and then here's the put away here, changeup away. So using both sides of the plate on the changeup and getting Elly to chase.
Gavin Lux now the batter, and he takes strike 1.
Now he will go to all sliders as his secondary pitch against the lefty.
Garcia with a check of McLean, and there's a swing and a miss. He's ahead of Lux, 0-2. Lux today is grounded out and struck out. Great opportunity for Garcia to really establish himself in these late innings. The lefties had a little command issue in his first couple outings. 0-2, and that's fouled along third. Rangers shut out the Reds yesterday. I say Rangers. Nathan Eovaldi shut them out yesterday on 99 pitches. Garcia's 0-2. Look out.
That'll open up the slider down in a way.
Yeah.
This is a very effective pitch. I don't know if Garcia was trying to do this, but we could see after this one, if he throws a breaking ball at Lux, we might see a little bit of a flinch here. It is tough to stay in on a breaking ball lefty on lefty after that pitch at your chin.
One, two. And he fouls it away. It looked like that front leg was ready to step toward first.
Yeah, it was a very good pitch, and for Lux, that was a survival swing to live for another pitch.
Field back. McLean takes his lead at second. Here's the 1-2. That's off the plate. Garcia, 28 years old, with the Nationals last year, acquired in that trade for Nathaniel Lowe in December. He can throw pretty much every day. 72 appearances last year. And he'll look back at second.
Smith is working hard right here. You don't want McLean to steal third with less than 2 outs. You can see Smith working here, trying to keep McLean to a tight lead.
They're foul.
Now it's a little bit tougher on 2 strikes to steal third base, because if there is a swing and a miss, Heim has a clean throw to third base, and you could end the inning with the tying run being at second, and McLean's going to score on most base hits to the outfield.
Two. And got him swinging. Boy, back-to-back strikeouts by Garcia.
This was a great battle, and Garcia finishes him off with a breaking ball, bottom of the zone. You can see Lux belling out just a little bit. Those hips clear early, and he can't get to that one. Battle won by Garcia.
Well, a couple of big Ks, and now Candelario, and he'll take way inside. Well, Garcia's right. He does tend to notch a good number of strikeouts. Had 75 of them last year. Yeah, that's 1-1. In fact, last year struck out better than 11 per 9 innings to lead all Nationals relievers. And this one on the ground, shortstop. Smith there on top of it. Throws over to first in time to get Candelario, and the inning is done. So the error to open the inning didn't hurt.
Great job by Garcia to come in with the tying run on base and get the changeup strikeout against De La Cruz, and then he goes to the slider against Gavin Lux, gets the grounder. There's the reaction, getting the job done. We head to the 8th. We're in another 1-0 game, and we head to the 8th inning now. Hey, when the Rangers come home, everybody wants one. Only 15,000 will get them. It's the Peagle bobblehead, presented by Golden Chick, this Friday, April 4th against the Rays. The first 15,000 fans. Tickets at Rangers.com.
Oh, conversation in the dugout after that inning. Robert Garcia and Mike Maddox discussing the goings-on that inning, and a lot of it was about the attention paid to McLean at second base, at least what we saw, as Taveras swings and misses at strike one. So new pitcher of the game, Tony Santillan, right-hander for Cincinnati. And this ball smacked on the left side, hanging up for a little while. Long run for De La Cruz. Did he get that ball? He did.
Oh my.
Wow, what a sliding catch by De La Cruz.
Well, we've seen some great plays from the Rangers. This is unbelievable. Actually, De La Cruz doesn't go after it at first. And he's like, I might be able to get to this. And then makes a spectacular play. I don't even know, did he see this into the glove? Yeah. That is an outstanding play. What an athlete.
I looked up at his teammates like, you know, you guys can go ahead and catch a couple too if you want. Here's Duran. What a play. Now, I'll say this much. He is not disappointed in this series. You kind of hope to see some of the excitement from a great player like De La Cruz when you play him. Not too much. We got a face full of it on Monday night when he drove in 7 runs, scored 4. But he's been great in this series. A lot of fun to watch. Bouncer foul here by Duran.
You know, and I know he's playing shortstop now, and I don't know if they have any plans to ever move him off of short, but that does show the range that he has if you put him in the outfield, what he can chase down out there with his strides and speed.
Darn near play with one outfielder.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, he can cover some ground. Got a little more time on those balls hit in the air.
I do know, you know, Tom Glavine told me when he came over to the Mets, when Andruw Jones was in his prime in center field, they would have both corner outfielders play the lines, knowing that Jones could cover both gaps by himself.
Fastball in there for strike 3 called. Duran down looking 2 away. So it brings up Semien, who has one of the Rangers' 3 hits tonight, or today I should say. Hasn't been a whole lot going on offensively for either team, and this one, good breaking ball by Santillan. Strike 1.
Yeah, I really feel like I way oversold this ballpark to start the series.
Yeah, you told us was that Rangers bats would come alive here.
Well, it's changed from a while ago. I guess this is a pitcher's park now.
Yeah.
Forget all the stats for 2 decades.
Yeah.
Forget the stats last year that showed how much of a hitter's park this is.
0-2 on the way. Well, it was cold the first 2 days. Today, very windy. And we've seen some good pitching. I mean, you kind of have to give a little credit where credit's due sometimes. Upstairs, 2-2. Marcus 1 for 3 today. Rangers a run on 3 hits, 1 error. Cincinnati, no runs today, 1 hit, and no errors. 2-2, foul back. Well, Marcus, the plan was to give him a day off today. And apparently he had basically agreed to that idea. Bruce Bochy thought, well, I can give him today, and then with tomorrow off as well, that give him a nice little respite. But when we got to the ballpark today, Corey Seager, who was initially going to be in the lineup at shortstop, let him know, I'm not sure I should go today. And so they gave Corey the day off. And you know, if you go to Marcus and say like, hey, listen, we're not real sure, we got somebody, you don't even have to get that far in the conversation. Marcus will say, I'll play. Yeah. I'm good.
This is one of the most professional guys in all of Major League Baseball. He gives it everything he has every day. And you love having those guys on your team. And what an example for everybody to follow, whether you're a Texas Ranger or whether you're a kid watching or an adult.
So Santillan misses with a breaking ball here to Wyatt Langford, and he left that one way up. The type of pitch, not in that location, but the type of mistake that could cost him on a day like today. Langford, he gets one up in the wind to left field. Forget about it. 1-1.
Sounds like you have a good feeling about this at bat.
I'm sensing a blast to left field here by Wyatt.
All right, I'm listening.
Based on the swings we saw yesterday, man, that's definitely in play. A lot of family on hand again today. blasts that the other way. Fraley going back, the wind knocking it down, and Fraley makes the catch. Inning over. Rangers leave a man. Bottom of the 8th coming up here in Cincinnati with the Reds up. Rather, the Reds trailing the Rangers 1-0. Hey, this copyright telecast is presented by authority of the Texas Rangers Television LLC. It's actually just called Rangers Television LLC. May not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent of Rangers Television LLC. Perhaps the least legally binding execution of that legalese this year anyway by us.
The people who are trying to steal it, they got it. They understand they're not going to be allowed to do it. Chris Martin on the mound for the Texas Rangers here. 3 games so far this season, 3 1/3. The 1 walk was an intentional walk. 167 batting average against.
He goes to work against Christian Encarnacion Strand. 0 for 2 today. Well, the 1 hit for Cincinnati came in the 4th inning, a double by De La Cruz. He ended up stealing third base, but was left there on a Gavin Lux strikeout. And that is, for the most part, the offense today for Cincinnati. They did have McLean get on via an error last inning. 0-2 pitch, and that's high.
Yeah, if you're just joining us now, and Jack Leiter was fantastic. 5 innings, only 1 base runner, and unfortunately got a blister on his middle finger that took him out of the game.
Yeah, it looked like he could have thrown several more innings the way he was going, and there's a strikeout of Encarnacion Strand, 1 away.
Well, Martin comes in and just starts dotting up the strike zone, and here's the finishing pitch here. 87 miles an hour with the splitty. Good location, good off speed. You see the dive on that pitch, and big first out in another 1-0 game.
So Steer, the hitter, and he pops that one up. Short right field. Here comes Garcia, 2 away. Well, I've got just a smidge of time right here for Choctaw Casinos and Resorts. All right, 2 down, and Jake Fraley, the batter. You mentioned another 1-0 game. That was the score last night. Rangers prevailing on the excellent pitching of Nate Eovaldi. This one up the middle, and that's a base hit for Fraley, and that one just about took Martin with it.
Well, this is not a good feeling as a pitcher when the ball gets hit right back at you and your head is in the area where the ball is headed, and you can see the reaction of Martin of protection to try his best to get out of the way, and luckily just a base hit up the middle and no contact there on that comebacker to Martin.
All right, Hurtubise will pinch hit here for Jose Trevino. So we have seen him as a late sub in every one of these games in this series, and he's a kind of an interesting guy. Great speed. He delivered a big hit last night late, but the Reds couldn't do anything with it. So it was the first time this season that the Reds were shut out last night. After last year, Cincinnati, they were shut out 16 times last season. Only the White Sox and Nationals suffered more shutouts last year. White Sox 19 times, Nationals 18 times. So they had similar problems last season. Martin and the rest of the bullpen trying to finish off what has been a shutout to this point. And Hurtubise fouls that one away. 1-2 the count.
Well, you put yourself in a good situation. Martin is good at keeping the ball on the ground and using his defense.
Big, tall right-hander. Now time called. You wonder on a day like today if an umpire would be more likely to give you an extra timeout if a big dust storm or whatever stirred up around the plate. Runner going, and Martin will step off, throw to second, and Fraley is out by a mile. It's just running like he's invisible out there. Where is he going? And that ends the inning. Well, sometimes you're pitching great, things are going your way. Sometimes the other team, they just give you outs, and Martin will take it. We head to the ninth, 1-0. Well, not a lot of room for error in this one. 1-0, Rangers on top. We go to the ninth inning, and Cincinnati goes to the bullpen. Emilio Pagan will be making his third appearance of the year. It's a new battery, as he's joined by Austin Wynns behind the plate. And a moment ago, Hurtubise was at the plate. He's officially in the game, so he stays in there in right field now. Pagan right to the plate, strike one.
The thing about Hurtubise is he saw some pitches from Martin, but he's probably going to see pitches from Luke Jackson in the ninth inning.
So Pagan gets Peterson to swing through that one. It's 0-2. Jack Peterson, Adolis Garcia, and Jake Burger in the ninth inning. Rangers scored 3 runs in Monday's game, but that was a blowout, 14-3 the final. Yesterday scored 1 run, same thing today. And Peterson takes low. 1-2. Pagana, veteran right-hander. Seen a decent amount of him over the years. And this ball is ripped down to first. Nice sliding stop by Encarnacion Strand, and he'll go to the bag himself. And that might be because Pagan maybe a little slow getting over there, but that's a nice defensive play. One away.
Yeah, we've seen some great defense from both sides. Tomahawk chop there. Swing from Peterson and hits it hard, but can't get it by Encarnacion Strand there.
So 1 out, and now Adolis Garcia. And he's way out in front of that cut fastball. Strike one. Adolis today 0 for 3. Last night struck out for the first time this season. He struck out again today, but that's just 2 strikeouts in the first 7 games of the year for Adolis. He did not strike out in the first 5 games this season, and that's the longest stretch in his career without a strikeout. It takes high, 1-1. Hunter Green was really good today for Cincinnati. Tony Centillon, scoreless 8th inning, and now Pagan. That ball hit well out to right field, but in this win, that's not going to carry. Hurtubise makes the catch, 2 away.
Well, there is Luke Jackson getting ready for the 9th inning, as the bullpen's done a great job so far, and in a 1-0 game, you really can't make any major mistakes. You got to execute pitch after pitch. No room for error in this game.
Pagan deals up to Jake Burger now. 1-0. Jake 0 for 3. A couple of strikeouts today. And that looked good, yeah. 1-1. A decent crowd here on a Wednesday afternoon. They announced 13,322. And Berger will give one of them a souvenir here. Ooh, yeah, gave one guy some bruises. Rattled around between some seats in pursuit of that one.
Yeah, he might have got his rib cage on one of the chairs there.
Down on a knee right now.
Well,
but there's your winner. How about that? And we'll never forget that day, man. Up and out, 2-2.
Yeah, and as this game's progressed, it's gotten warm.
Yeah. We've seen all the weather here in Cincinnati in 3 days. Pagan's 2-2, and that's popped up back behind the plate and may make the seats. Ooh, so close. That almost blew back to the other side of the net. Wins gave that a pretty good effort.
Well, here's Wins. He gets to the wall there and
just don't give up on it today, do you?
Yeah, didn't have a play on it, but he got to where he needed to be in case it blew back.
All right, another pitch to Berger. He hammers it foul. Berger got his first home run of the season in Monday's game. And that was good to see. Get that one out of the way and hopes that maybe he can really get something started. The 2-2 pitch, and he scoops that one up near first. Hanging up there a moment. Catch made in foul ground. Rangers go in order in the 9th inning. So Luke Jackson had been listening. He's ready to go. 9th inning in a 1-run game and looking for his 3rd save of the season. Well, it's all pitching today. 5 total hits in this one. Rangers up 1-0. Bottom of the 9th inning, and Rangers closer Luke Jackson is on.
3 games so far this year. 2 saves, 2 1/3, 3 hits, 3 earned runs, 300 batting average against. All those runs came on one swing of the bat by Abreu in opening day against Boston.
First pitch swinging, ground ball shortstop. Smith circles around it, makes the play. 1 gone, 9th inning. And important to keep that guy Hurtubise off the bases.
Yeah, yesterday he did a great job in that situation of getting on base against Eovaldi to start off the 9th, and good job by Jackson, Smith, and Berger to get that first one.
Just missed ball 1 to Friedl, who's 0 for 3 today. And that one ripped out into right field. Friedl is on in the 9th. Just the 2nd hit today, pardon me, 3rd hit today for Cincinnati.
Well, good job of hitting by Friedl, and I know he's just on deck, but could we be headed towards the exact same scenario situation as yesterday in the 1-0 game where De La Cruz comes up with 2 outs in the 9th inning?
I mean, that's certainly the way it would look, barring Jackson getting a bouncer here. And there's strike 1. Pitch at the very top of the zone. Jackson with a long set. Bouncer, left side foul. And it's 0-2. 1-0. Just as it was yesterday.
Well, this is fun. I'll tell you, I'm also a little bit nervous too.
There's no doubt.
This is what you sit around and watch baseball for, is for moments like this.
Oh, 2 from Jackson. And that is strike 3 called. McLean down looking, 2 away.
Perfect location here. Outside corner, 97 miles an hour. Jonah Heim framing it up. And now Ranger fans, same situation. The Reds guy is up. The Rangers need one more out.
Last night it was a ground ball to Berger at first. And now they'll throw over there and try and keep Friedl close. Mike, it has never happened in Rangers history that they would have won back-to-back 1-0 games. That is since moving to Arlington in 1972. Only once in franchise history. It was the second year of the franchise's history, 1962, in Washington as the Senators have they done it. The era of inflated offense. But we saw the spectacular performance from Eovaldi yesterday. The 1-0 shutout. And now today, Jack Leiter, it's absolutely the best he's ever been, but had to leave early with that blister. Webb, Garcia, Martin, and now Jackson trying to finish the work. But it goes 2-1 on De La Cruz.
Close misses, both good calls, just outside. We saw Eovaldi get De La Cruz with a cutter inside to finish the game. So far, everything's been away in this at bat.
Little attention to Friedl. I think that's a second toss over there. So now he can be aggressive. Stole a base yesterday. Not going. And that's right on the corner. Strike 2.
I mean, those are perfect locations. It's just so tough on that pitch to really get an extra base hit. I know De La Cruz has long arms, but the best thing he can do there is just try to shoot it to left field, but that's really not his approach.
Friedl again not going. 2-2 pitch. Bounce to the right side. Semien is there. And this one is over. They've done it. 2 straight games. A 1-0 shutout of the Reds.
What a great job by Luke Jackson there to get De La Cruz out. Like you said, it happened. First time in Rangers history. Second time in franchise history. It was the Washington Senators back then. Now these Texas Rangers, and what a great job by everybody who took the ball on the mound today, and some really nice defensive plays too.
May not see 2 better days of pitching than we've seen here in Cincinnati. A 1-0 Rangers win. We'll be back to wrap it up here in a moment.